Welcome to part 3 of the Crash Bandicoot Let's Play. So now that we are done with the first island, we are now starting off with the second island of the game, and we're doing it up the creek level. Well, a creek level, up the creek. Yeah. One thing I was actually going to mention in a level like this not too long ago. Well, actually, part 1 actually. How redundant for me to say that. When Naughty Dog was developing this game and they were showing this level off at E3 of 1996, I think, Miyamoto, yes, the leader of Nintendo himself, was actually impressed. He was impressed at how the water looked in this game. In fact, that's actually one thing I want to mention with Crash Bandicoot as well. I mean, you gotta admit, Naughty Dog to me, has a reputation when it comes to pushing a system's limits. At least with the PlayStation games. I mean, Nolan North, you know, the actor for Nathan Drake in the Uncharted series, has even stated that they push the limits of the PlayStation 3 and the PlayStation 4. I could even show it off if I wanted to.
Again, Naughty Dog gets all the credit because they push the PS3 to its absolute limits. Naughty Dog is going to push the limits, the current limits of the PS4.
And you know, but to me it wasn't just the PS3, like even back with the PS1, early PS1 actually, since this was from 1996 after all. For the time, these visuals look pretty damn good, and to me, again, I never really played Crash Bandicoot when it came out, but I do have some nostalgia for it. I had nostalgia with the demo, which only contained the second level of the game. But you know, but the game does look pretty good, and I can see how Mr. Miyamoto would be impressed with the water and how everything would look, especially since, you know, in video games, flowing water especially is extremely hard to animate. So seeing Naughty Dog pull something like this off, especially this early on, is just incredible. And also, another thing I want to mention actually is the music of this game. You know, I mean, I like the music a lot. It doesn't have that big of a variety. But in a case like this, it just feels so calming and relaxing. But I also want to say that because of the music and such, and how these graphics look, especially when you compare it to the next two games in the series, this definitely feels like the first game in the series. But that doesn't always have to be a bad thing, however. Because, again, nostalgia and such. And again, I only played the demo disc. Fun fact about that demo disc, actually. I already mentioned that it contained the second level of the game, but it also had the green gem unlocked too. So, you know, that's pretty cool how they did that. Well, at least to give you a nice preview, get all the boxes and whatnot. It was... Then I remember picking this game up again off the PlayStation Network and... damn. Yeah, that's gonna be a running theme. Well, to be fair, I got that life back. Yeah, sliding off the platforms like that's gonna be a running theme for the next level. Let's get to that goal. And that was really close. So, yeah, in terms of this game's presentation, for 1996, these visuals look pretty damn impressive. I can't say if they hold up well today, but they still look pretty good. Oh, the second boss. Hey look, we're on the second boss fight of the game, and this is my least favorite boss well, actually this is my least favorite boss. What we have to do here is that we have since Ripperoo is constantly jumping all around, yes, Ripperoo is a kangaroo by the way, he's constantly jumping all around, and what we need to do is that we need to set off these big TNT crates, and so we can get him to, you know, get him into the blast radius of that big TNT box. Guess how many times I died to this guy? At least, not to him, but 2. Let's try that again. Don't! Alright, you can do it. Damn it! I keep sliding off the damn platforms. Come on. Let's try that again. Don't!
What have I got?
Don't worry, I get this time. Yeah, I died 5 times. It's just hard to like, you know, well, at least trying to jump from platform to platform since he's constantly jumping all around. However, if there's one thing I will say, at the very least he does have a set pattern, at least a set path. So every time you hit him, his pathway will change, but it doesn't, but like I said, it's not completely random. He does have a set path every time. Once I figured out this guy, it didn't take me long to beat him. And just like that, Ripperoo's dead. Well, actually, no, he's not dead. He comes back in Crash 2, but yeah, that's my least favorite boss in the game. I didn't like how to me, it's hard to jump from platform to platform when he's constantly jumping all around, especially since the camera too. That could have been, the camera was a bit of a problem. Oh, and now we have these levels. Yeah, I want to mention that Crash Bandicoot 1, I already mentioned that Crash 1 can be a, well, Crash 1 can be a pain in the ass when it comes to getting all the gems. In fact, I should have mentioned this from part 1, at least 2 parts ago, that when it comes to 100%ing this game, no, I refuse. Because, again, getting the gems is a pain in the ass. And I'm not that dedicated. I might do a 100... When I do get to Crash 2, though, I'll definitely 100% that one, since I've done it before. Well, when I got it on the disc. At Christmas of last year. Ah, man. You know, it's funny. I just got the entire Crash trilogy on PlayStation 1, and then all of a sudden, like a few months later, the Crash remakes get announced for PlayStation 4. Not that I'm not excited, but it's just, oh, such timing. So, anyway, actually, speaking of these mugs, like, alright. We all know the ton of mugs I've been collecting. In fact, we're just collecting one right now. There's also 2 other mugs that you can collect, actually. Yeah, and well, they're both the main villains of the game. They are, well, as you can see here, that is the embryo mug, who, by the way, is Cortex's lab assistant. Working on these, when they were working on these animals to make them more intelligent and such. But yeah, you can collect 3 embryo mugs, and although the embryo mugs really just serve no purpose other than to get more lives, just like the Tawna mugs. I'm not sure if you can save your progress in those. I never really beaten one myself. All I know is that they're just pointless. And then you have the Cortex mugs, which actually do matter, especially if you're going 100%, or if you're trying to show off all the levels anyway. Because the Cortex mugs, when you do beat them, you unlock a key. There's only 2 levels where they have these Cortex mugs, meaning that there's only 2 extra levels in the game, which I will show off. I might not be going for 100%, but I will try to show off every level in the game. Because that's how, since the extra levels aren't tied to the gems in any way. Well, I mean, you don't have to collect a gem to access the extra levels, but yeah. You know what I'm... You just hit, only the key is required. That's what I'm trying to say. So anyway, when it comes to these kind of levels, you have these pusher blocks which remind me of Eggman Land. Ugh, I just complete Sonic Unleashed. You have these jumping lizard enemies which... let me see. Well, there's actually two kinds of these enemies. You have the green ones that jump in a set pattern, then you have the red ones which jump wherever they want. They can both be beaten by a simple bop on the head or spin attack. And then you have these bats, actually, where there'll be points in the level where you're gonna be seeing a bat hanging on the ceiling. Oh, in this bonus level I decided to say screw it, I'm not risking anything. But yeah, when it comes to the bats, you'll see a bat hanging off of the ceiling, and it will, you know, tell these other bats, the child bats, to move along. Meaning that they are an obstacle, actually. The only way to stop the bats from coming out is that you have to kill both of the parent bats. Yeah, I know. Kill both of the parent bats. Batman's gonna be pissed. But you know, those bat enemies, those bat obstacles can be a bit annoying, but you just gotta be quick. And that is pretty much it. When it comes to these kinds of levels, there's actually a second one that's actually really hard. I mean, this one wasn't too bad, but it's the next one that's gonna be a pain in the ass. Well, not a pain in the ass, well, not that it's hard, it's just a little too long. Sorry about that. Anyhow, we're now showing off our second to last level, well, for the video, Temple Ruins. Now Temple Ruins, I think,
What have I got?
Temple Ruins is more 3D, and it's also really platform heavy. Like, yeah, very platform heavy. The main problem with these kinds of levels, though, is that, yeah, the camera can be a bit of an issue. I mean, you have platforms that are constantly moving, and the camera is a little too far pulled back. Well, pulled back a little too far. So it can be hard to tell, well, at least judge the distance on where you're gonna jump. Yes, you gotta fight the depth perception. Seriously, I just beat Sonic Unleashed, guys. Come on. I don't have to be reminded of Eggman Land. First the pusher blocks and now depth perception. Seriously? That was way too close. So, actually, when it comes to these kinds of levels, this is one issue I actually want to mention. Like, if I die for the stupidest reasons, well, I can tell you right now that the reasons are actually not that stupid, because when I'm recording this, my TV is... Well, okay, since I moved away from South Jersey and moved up north, I had my new game room is obviously more big and has a different layout. With that said, however, my TV is pretty much across us, is on the wall, which is, well, actually, my TV is right across the room from the other wall, which has a window. With that all said and done, whenever I'm playing a dark level or something, or when I'm playing any game in general, there's gonna be a glare on my screen. So it's gonna be a bit hard to tell where I'm going, at least for me. Like, you wouldn't notice the glare anyway, because, you know, well, thankfully the Elgato doesn't capture that. Yes, I am recording this off the PS3 if that wasn't obvious enough. But so again, yeah, if I die for the stupidest of reasons, that's probably because That's probably because of the glare on my TV screen. Oof, playing some of the other darkness levels in the game is gonna be a pain in the ass, I know that. I'm gonna hate it. But see right here, the camera's a little too far back, and it's kinda hard to tell your jumps. My advice for those platforming segments, slow down. Fun fact for these pusher block segments is that when you move past them, they stop working. The reason for this is because, and no, it's not so much the fact that the camera will get crushed. That would have made for a great editing gag. 15 boxes? Bullshit. I'm sorry, I had to say that. But the real reason why they stop working after you move past them is to make sure that the camera doesn't get stuck. So that's a pretty nice touch, Naughty Dog. Well, regardless of what reason that you interpret. Anyway, now we are on these levels. Ugh. Okay, that was my fault. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now on the road to nowhere levels. Now the setting for these levels, let's just get the elephant out of the room, is that we are on a bridge high up in the mountains. It's very foggy, because you know, draw distance and whatnot. And a lot of the planks on these bridges, these range from a lot of things. You have the regular tan planks, which are safe to stand on. You have the blue planks, well, at least the purplish blue planks, which I think are the planks that are rotten, which fall apart for a short period of time. You have the red planks, which are completely broken. You obviously don't want to stand on those. And then you have the blue planks, which are icy, meaning that you'll slide right off of them. My best advice, just be really careful with these segments. And just fiddle around with the D-pad. Like, don't put too much pressure on the D-pad. Or at least don't gun it. Because you're pretty much just asking for trouble. And in terms of enemies in this level, well, we have the hogs from Wild Hog. I'm guessing that the hog, or I'm guessing that the hog just wants revenge from Crash after the first Hog Wild level. But another funny thing about these hogs is that since most of the bridge is broken, they're pretty much walking on the air. I'm guessing that these are Jesus's pet hogs. Seriously, why else wouldn't they be walking on the air? Then again, if they were Jesus's pet hogs, they'd be walking on the water. Well, then again, Sonic also proved that you can. Well, at the same time though, it was 2006, but Jesus can walk on water. Sonic can float above it by about 10 feet. But these hogs can run across those large gaps in bridges. How can they do that? It's a video game. What are you expecting? Let me see. Another type of enemy, well, not really so much an enemy. Well, technically they are enemies, but you also have these turtles, which I recommend do not spin. Because if you do spin them away, then you won't have a chance of getting across the large gaps. You need to bop them. You just need to bop them on the head, just so you can bounce on their shells. Again, if you spin them away, you're out of luck. So I don't recommend that. There's actually a way you can cheese these Road to Nowhere levels as well. Like, you can actually stand on the ropes, and you can pretty much just walk across the bridge from there. But I don't know, I don't like to do that. I'd rather be authentic. But that is it for part 3, ladies and gentlemen, and the next time we meet in the Crash Bandicoot Let's Play, we're going to be doing more of the second island. See you then.